Hey, it's your boy, Sergeant Hook on Heroes, with another Toku Toy View. I know I don't do a lot of these. I always say, I'm going to do one, and then I always forget, because, you know, ADHD brain and all that. Really excited. Ooh, excuse me. I'm going to be talking about the Power Builder buckle for the DX Power Builder, Gigant buckle, whatever you want to call it, for Geats, you know, for the Desire Driver. Mainly featured in the movie as a movie-exclusive buckle. Came out as a DX release, of course, and now we've seen in the show Geats using it within the show. It's interesting because the plot of the movie has to do with like a fake enhanced DGP being made, a Desire like Grand Prix Extreme or whatever they call it, that I don't think exists in the show. So interesting they brought that over. Usually we don't get that a lot. It's very rare that we get a movie exclusive form make its way into the show, and especially like it has been recently into the show as like a primary buckle he uses quite a lot. Nonetheless, really cool stuff, and I'll show off most of the sounds I can make it do. My Desire Driver is very finicky, and I'm about to fight it. I'm about to straight fist fight it. I just yesterday pulled it all apart, cleaned out the little contacts like I was supposed to with the contact cleaning solution. Everything was fine. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh no. Excuse me. Anyway, so first we'll start off with the ID core for the main rider there, who is a like elk-based rider. Again, really cool design. I like the antlers there and the face mask little situation there. There's the back of it if you care. It is see-through, kind of yellowy orange. It's kind of cool. Again, fits with the color aesthetic of the buckle set. Here's the Gigant buckle holder. This, as far as I can tell with my experiments, does nothing to the driver in terms of sounds. You'll hear the like noise of accepting a buckle, but it doesn't do any other noises that I can hear or that I can, disseminate between it being any different. But yeah, so this is the little holder. So we got Gigant sword, Gigant hammer, Gigant blaster. And then it's kind of cool. You just kind of, the sides of them have a little clasp. You just do that, and then you can put it on the thing, and then you bring it back and just snap it back on. So, yeah, really cool little thing there. It kind of reminds me of like X-Egg, the thing that would hold the gashats, or I guess in Gates, the thing that holds your extra buckle, like holder type thing. They do it in a lot of the seasons that have a gimmick. They'll have like an extra holder piece that will hold extra of the gimmick items. So again, really cool. I like the design of them. The colors on them are really nice. Interesting how the show had that random freaking one of Magnum as a Gigant buckle. I don't know how that happened, but anyway. So yeah, that's one part of it. This right here is the Power Builder buckle itself. Really nice design. Kind of looks like they took a bit of design inspiration from the Gamer Driver, honestly, because of the handle right there and how it opens up. I love the caution tape thing here. Definitely the construction, builder kind of, Bob the Builder, can we fix it? Bob the Builder, right kick. Anyway, situation going on. So I like that color of that. I'm going to get it kind of closer if you can kind of see. It's kind of orange through there. It is see-through, but it's a light orange. The lights look really cool in this. If I can get my finicky-ass driver to work, if that's the case. So yeah, that's how that looks. It does make noises on its own. It has its own batteries, so you can just kind of... So there you go. You close it and flip the little claws back. Right here is where the Gigant buckles will go. I will show you what it sounds it makes on its own, and then the creation mode where you put the Gigant buckle in there and then slap the little handle back. You tap it back and it'll do the creation mode and create that weapon. But trying to do as many of the sounds as I can. Try to do as many of them as I can. My driver is very finicky. A lot of people have been having issues with their Desire Driver not reading the buckles correctly. I even took mine entirely apart, like I mentioned. Cleaned it all out yesterday, tightened things up, put it all back together. It was working fine last night, and all of a sudden it's like, no. So here's my finicky-ass Desire Driver right there with my Uchigadai buckle. Pretty soon I'm going to try and do another Uchigadai skit, including power and all about Power Buckle and him getting that one. So yeah, we're going to do entry because I feel like that helped when I was in between recording this because I've tried to record for like 7 minutes and couldn't get it to go. So, entry. So there we go. Power Buckle. Of course, you little butt. There we go. Henshin! Yeah. So it's really cool. We don't even get the like ready fight thing. It's just, would you like a custom selection? And if you hold the handle back, you'll... So there's that. If you flip the little arms back and then close it, so there's that. Let me throw in the holder one and see if it does anything. I think it will. Just Gigant Strike. Okay. So yeah, really cool. I like the lights that it does. Only thing with this little holder one is it has nothing on it that activates or spins or anything. You know, like Boost has the handle. Ninja, you spin the wheel. Beat, you know, you do the little DJing thing, whatever. So yeah, that's really interesting to me. I don't know why exactly, but I'm going to try to put both these on, like, for the first time, you know, together. And see if that makes any different sounds for all of this together. Let's see. Of course. You little bitch, driver. Oh, now you're not going to activate anything, huh? You're cool. You little baby. So yeah, I like how it looks. I like the two little claws being around the ID core like that. It's cool. It's like it's centering on like what it's experimenting with. Almost gives a sense of like someone tinkering around with the driver itself. I just thought that's a fun concept to explore, is for someone to be like, let me see this, and like mess around with the driver and try and mess with settings or something. Okay, so now I'm going to try to attach the Gigant buckles, and we'll see how that goes. Oh, this driver. Anyway, so we're going to start with Gigant Hammer. Gigant Hammer. There we go. We'll place it in yonder driver. I think if you do this upwards, or is it downwards? Oh, it's downwards. Yeah, oh, okay. It's very finicky. It's supposed to, when you do this, close it here. Let me take it off. If you put it on with the buckle in there already, it does a separate sound for it. Hold on. Hear a little hammer noise. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. There seems to be, I've noticed in my experiments with it, that when you do a henshin with this, you know, like you activate the sounds and all that, that the noises that the powered builder buckle make kind of override whatever the other one is, even if it's one that has noises to it. Sometimes. At least, well, I guess not with, like I tried it with Twin Command. But any of the other ones that don't make noises but like have parts that you open and stuff, it'll override that noise, and whatever, if it was doing the whole that when it's like about to, you're about to transform, it'll override that so you can just hear the sounds it makes, which is kind of unique, and I like it. Again, I like the aesthetic of it. I think it looks really nice on the driver. It's a nice little extension, and it very much so gives the idea of somebody who was tinkering around with the driver and like forcefully made their own buckle and slapped it on there, and I think that's really cool. I like the idea behind that. So yeah, if you okay, and then we'll little red button on the side that releases the Gigant buckle you're using. So we'll put that aside for a minute, and then we'll throw on Gigant sword real quick. Hold on. Powered system. Sword. Fight. Cool thing to note here, it seems to only say the ready fight thing like most buckles do when it's a when you've got one of the Gigants in there. When it's just the thing on its own, the buckle on its own, the power builder buckle on its own, it just says, would you like a custom selection? So I like that. Again, it also gives this sense of like somebody who like hacked the driver to make it work the way they want to. It's very cool. I really, really like how they set this whole thing up. So I haven't quite figured out how to do the grand victory with this. I don't really know how that works. It's kind of funny acting sometimes. So get that one off there. Now we'll do Gigant Blaster. Throw that on there like that. No, you're gonna be like, oh, what's going on here? Hold on a second. It's kind of finicky. There you go. Yeah, so it seems like this one over here does nothing because, like I said, there's no parts to it that move or would activate any other sound. So yeah, I don't think it does anything. It even plays the standby activation noise as if it's gonna do something once you finish your henshin pose and press something on it. But it's just a holder for the buckles, which is fine. I don't know. I think that it would have been cooler if it was similar to Twin Command, where it had two parts that did cool things like that. But I don't hate it as it is. I just think it's kind of an interesting way that it works differently. And it's a nice way of expanding out what the buckles do. I think that's really, really cool. So yeah, I really, really enjoy it. I think it's a nice overall system. I sure wish my Desire Driver worked the way that I wanted it to. But I don't know. See, with saying that, I'm not sure. Because there was when I first got it and I was doing my first few henshin videos with it, at one point I dropped it. You didn't see this recorded. I'll never release that footage. It's deleted anyway. And I dropped it. So I don't know if I like broke something inside and that's why it did that or what exactly. But I've heard a lot of people having issues with their Desire Drivers and them not connecting the right way and like showing off the right lights and all of that. And making the right anything noises, you know. But I do have better luck, in case you want some tips and stuff with that. I do have some better luck with something like that. Sorry, I'm picking up with the buckles back on here. If you do entry first, you know, like put your ID core in and then let it say entry and go from there, and you see the lights turning on, then that's a good sign. That means the lights are working inside and it's trying to read something, right? So that's good. If you notice right here, I'm going to get to talking about this for just a minute. Right here are the contacts that it presses to, you know, activate the buckles and stuff. And if you do it right, you can actually, sometimes if you put the buckles in a goofy way, I've gotten it to say O's driver, Deca driver, whatever, like for some of the Legend Rider buckles. But there's a way to take it apart. There's a lot of screws, but you take it all apart, and there's a little, on the other side of this is a tiny little green circuit board. You could take a screw off, open it. It's really okay, I promise. There's just a few wires attached. Be very gentle, because they're probably easy to break. And then you can see that full little metal plate there. You can get some liquid. That's a, what's it called? Contact, that's what it is. Computer contact cleaner or electrical contact cleaner. Get it on Amazon. It's a really tiny little bottle. I'll try and throw a link in the description for it. You brush that on there, you let it dry. You can either, you know, blow it dry. You know, like. Sometimes that method works too. The whole NES like get your game to work method where you're like. Sometimes that works. I don't know. It also might be that this is kept mostly in my garage where it's cold because I live in Michigan. So maybe the cold kind of affects it too. But that might help with your driver, just so you guys know in case you are having troubles with your own Desire driver. And again, I can do a more in-depth video later kind of talking about the ins and outs and how that works. I'm no electrical engineer, so I'm sorry, and it's all up to, you know, at your own risk. Do not blame me because you tried what I said and it didn't work or it broke your driver. You decided to mess with it. So, I'm not liable. We're going to try the Gigant buckles just without anything and see if they activate any noises. I've not gotten them to, but we'll see what's going to happen today. No, you're not going to give me a little bitch today? So it doesn't seem like they do anything on their own. As far as I can tell. Of course. But yeah, there's no way to see, but they don't do anything else on here, so there's no way to activate them. They're just stuck in the, like, about to transform phase. Yeah, so kind of interesting with them that they really only work with the powered builder itself. It's kind of interesting. But again, it's a really cool idea. I like that they're trying to do different things and experiment with what they can do design-wise with the drivers. And I like that they're not just leaving the gimmicks behind and doing something with the driver, or the vice versa, doing something with the driver, or sorry, doing something with the gimmicks, leaving the driver behind. Because as you guys know, watching the show as long as you guys have, these shows, your gimmicks fall into two categories. Pieces of plastic that activate sounds in the driver, or the driver is nothing and all the sounds come from the gimmick themselves. Geats has a good mix of ones like the powered builder that have sounds to them, have batteries and sounds they do, and then also other ones that don't. So yeah, overall, I really like the set. I think it's really, really cool. I like the ID cord for the movie writer. I got to figure out what his name is. I feel like an idiot and a fake fan. So I think it's a really good set. I think it's your mileage will vary on your Desire driver, if it's a good copy or not. But I think it's a really cool set. I really like these buckles so far that have had the sounds in them. Really only two, which is what's it called? I'm sorry, Power Builder and Twin Command. So I like them. I think they're really, really, really cool, and I hope we get to keep seeing them. And that they keep experimenting with things as far as like what the buckles can do and what they can be around the driver. There's so much like playability and molding that you can do, and different unique things you could do with the driver and how it's made. That could do some really interesting stuff. So I think there's some really cool stuff that we've yet to see as far as buckles and the driver and what it's capable of. If I had to score as far as the Toku view goes, probably give it a straight 9 out of 10, only because this thing is cool, but I'm sad that it doesn't do anything in the driver. All it does is activate the like standby music, and then that's it. And I think that's a little bit lame. It's no one's fault. I'm not blaming Frankie or blaming anybody for it. It's just a design thing I think is kind of odd. I wish there would have been a accompanying piece to this. Like, how Twin Command has, the little lever piece here and the other one, and they go together and they make sense, right? Power Builder, I wish had another one just like this, but like flipped orientation, and instead of little claws, maybe it was I don't know, like a crane, cradle thing, or I don't know, something. Again, I just wish there was something else, maybe like a little thing that looked like a mining laser or something. I don't know. Just to go along with this, because I really like it, and I think it looks cool and sounds cool, but at the same time, this part is like a tiny bit of a letdown that it doesn't do anything and it's just a holder, when it could just be a fancy holder that would go on your side instead of slotted into the driver. And mostly on the show, when you see him, he doesn't even use this thing. He just uses the other buckles along with this one. So yeah, I do like the functionality of the buckles going on to the buckle. Like the buckle, the is it raised buckle or whatever the one is that is the fancy one. It being able to have buckles put onto it to change the functionality is really cool. I think that's really interesting. It activates different sounds, and I think it's a really cool aesthetic for going forward with the evolution of what we can see for the gimmicks going forward. But overall, a really good set. Definitely worth it if you have seen the movie. I've not seen it yet because it's not been subtitled yet, I don't think, anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong. But a really, really cool set, and I think it's worth it if you are into collecting this stuff. I got it completely for free, so I wasn't intending on getting it, and my friend Frankie just straight up bought it and sent it to me. So I was really lucky. I got scared for a minute because it came in a fairly large box, and I was like, oh God, did he get me the one that comes with a Desire driver? I don't need another driver. Well, I kind of do, because my driver's a little bit of a piece of garbage sometimes. But yeah, overall a really cool set. But let me know in the comments below, what did you guys think of the Power Builder buckle set? If you have it yourself, if you haven't, what did you guys think? Do you like it? Do you hate it? In the middle? Would you score it the same? What do you think about the Gigant buckles? Do you want to see this continued? We've seen it kind of, because like I said, there's a variant of the blaster one, which is just the Magnum like gun as one of these little buckles. So I don't know if they're going to keep doing that or not, or if that's all we're going to see of it. But thank you guys so much for watching, for commenting, liking, subscribing, sharing, all that really good stuff. We're up above 400 subscribers now. It's really, really awesome. I really am thankful for you guys so much for allowing me to dump my brain out of all these thoughts and things I have about these toys and shows and whatever. But thank you guys very, very much for the opportunity. I really, really appreciate you guys. And I consider you guys all friends. I want you guys to know that. I don't see myself as this content creator and way over here is the audience. Like, no, we're close. We're friends. That's the thing. I try to keep my reviews, my content down to earth. I'm not trying to be better than anybody or holier than thou, or I have all this stuff and you don't. Like, I know that I'm fairly lucky to have the things that I have and have the ability to not only own them, but to record them in a way that I can show them off to you guys and kind of give you an idea if you want to buy it or not. So I really appreciate the opportunity. As far as content this week, definitely the Geats and Don Brothers reviews for Geats 21, Don Brothers 47. Whenever that goes up for subtitles, I'll watch that a couple times and do my review for that. As far as the what was I thinking of? The podcast. We'll be hopefully having some cosplayers on, maybe one or two. I don't know yet. We have a couple we're talking to see if it works out for their schedule. To kind of talk about how they do their Toku cosplays, may it be Sentai or Rider or what have you. And some other fun topic. I was thinking about maybe I can flip my computer around and we can show off our favorite henshin poses. Something like that. I don't know. I think it'd be fun to kind of play around with that a little bit. But been having a blast on the podcast. I really, really have. I'm really excited we get to meet these awesome people that are legends in our community and talk to them and just get down and just really have a fun time with our friends and make new friends and get to know people and see that they're just as down to earth and goofy and fun and chill as we were hoping they were. You know what I mean? You're always kind of worried like, oh God, they're so much cooler than me. Are they going to even want to be on? And most of them are like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And I think that's really cool. We just recently recorded Friday of just last week with Este, the Don Fuego, talking about the new Power Rangers universe in general coming up with like the movie and the reboot and blah, blah, blah. So definitely check that out if you haven't seen it. But anyway, thank you so much for watching today. You stay hooked on Heroes, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.